Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the Java Development Kit and Eclipse so that you can get started with programming in Java on Windows 10. You'll want to start by opening up your web browser and I usually just start with a Google search for JDK, and we'll go with JDK 8. You'll notice that one of the first links is the Java SE Development Kit 8. That's great, that's exactly what we want. When you're looking around, you could be pretty overwhelmed if you're not sure what you're looking at. The big difference between these two sections is that one is just the development kit, and one comes with some additional samples and software. I'm just going to get the development kit, so I'm going to accept the license agreement, and download it for my operating system, which in this case is Windows x64, because I have a 64-bit installation. And while that's downloading, I'm also going to come over to eclipse.org, and I'm going to click download. And I'm just going to grab this Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers, or the for Java developers. Now, there's not a huge difference between the two, it's just what comes bundled with it. If you get just the one for Java developers, then you can always install the Enterprise Edition tools later. If all you're going to be doing is very basic client-side applications, then the smaller IDE for Java developers may be appropriate. So I'm going to choose 64-bit, and I'm just going to hit download, and it's going to start downloading. While that's downloading, I'm going to go ahead and install my JDK. I'm going to hit next. You'll probably want to leave these all enabled. Then hit next. It's going to update your registry. It should put it on the command path as well, which we will verify to make sure. When it prompts us where it wants to install, we'll just leave it the default. It's going to go ahead and install Java. You'll notice my Eclipse download completed, so I'm going to go ahead and open that up as well. I'm going to close my browser now because I don't need any of the other websites or files that I downloaded. I'm just going to drag Eclipse onto my desktop. It really doesn't matter where I put it, as long as I remember where I put it so that I can get to it later. You'll see that my Java successfully installed, and Eclipse is copying itself onto my desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. Okay, now that Eclipse is downloaded, I do want to make sure that Java did install completely. So I'm going to hold down the Windows button and hit R, which should bring up this run command. I'm just going to put CMD. Alternatively, you could hit the start menu, type in command, and choose a command prompt from there. But the Windows R shortcut tends to be a little quicker. I'm just going to type in Java space dash version. And I see that I do have Java version 1.8. So it does look like Java installed just fine. So now I'm going to close my download and attempt to open up Eclipse. It's a good sign that the splash appeared. And it should prompt me next to choose my working directory, which is essentially going to be where Eclipse will create all of the projects and all of the source code files that we create. Okay, I'm just going to leave the default workspace. So I'm going to actually check this block so that I'll use this as my default workspace and never ask me again. And I'm going to hit OK. And now that Eclipse is started up, I'm going to come up to File, New, Java Project, just to make sure that everything's configured correctly. I'm going to call this Testing Install. I'm going to have it use the existing JRE. I'm going to leave this all set up. I'm going to hit Finish. Actually, I'm going to hit Next. I want to leave this as the default as well and hit Finish. And the new layout should appear. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to right-click on my source directory, choose New, Class, and I'm going to make sure that this public static void main is selected. And I'm going to just call this main. If you don't know what any of this does, Just stay tuned for whatever your professor is going to teach you or whatever my courses are going to teach you, because they will be explained. But this public static void main essentially says, hey, when I run my application, this is where I want you to start running my code from. So I'm going to hit finish, and the source code editor should appear. And just to make sure that everything works, I'm going to go system.out.println, and I'm going to say test. We'll say saluton, which is Esperanto for hello. I'm going to save my file. I'm going to hit run. And you'll see down at the bottom that I have my output. So I now know that I have Java up and running, and I can create my source code files and run all of my code within this static void main method.